Countdown now. Here it is.
Winter winds are blowing and the snow begins to fall. As I drive through the quiet streets, I can hear the call. The lights are shining brightly like stars again. Every window tells a story. Everything feels right. Oh, I'm coming home for the holidays where love is grown, where love is right. Coming home in the warmth of family, I'll never be alone. The tree is all decorated with memories wrapped tight. Every ornament, a chapter in this season of light. Voices rise in laughter, carols fill the air. With every note we sing, there's magic everywhere. Oh, I'm coming home for the holidays where love is grown, where love is right. Coming home in the warmth of family, I'll never be alone. Through the echoes of the past, we find our way. In the spirit of the season, we'll cherish every day. With each embrace, we'll hold on to this night. In the heart of our dreams, everything feels right. Oh, I'm coming home for the holidays where love is grown, where love is right. Coming home in the warmth of family, I'll never be alone. So gather round the table, let the laughter flow. In the glow of the evening, together we'll grow. Oh, I'm coming home for the holidays. I'll always find my way back home.
Yeah, that's the song. Well, everybody, welcome. This is Chance's Chat. Doc G, Chance McFadden. We have the two ladies coming on tonight, again, about the patches. And fascinating Brian. Wyatt is here. Welcome to Chance's Chat. This may be for entertainment purposes only, but it also may not be. Welcome to Chance's Chat.
Everybody was thinking I wasn't going to have a show tonight, but there's too much stuff going on. Too much stuff. First of all, I consider the Christmas time, what should be Christmas time. It isn't this way for me, but I consider it a couple days before Christmas and after the New Year, where everybody can, deck the halls and hang out and, I have a more idealistic vision of Christmas, and it kind of skipped past me this year. It's okay. It's okay. There's always next year.
Hey, will you turn that down? They could hear it over our headsets.
Sure.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I can't believe they can hear that. Okay, and anyway, there's always next year, and we've had some really, really good stuff happening in the last few days, and I'm going to give you a hint at some of the intel at the very first, but most of the intel is going to come at the last. Okay. One of my white hat contacts called me at 5:15 today and informed me that they have program rates for the humanitarian groups that become active on the 28th, which is in 2 days, which is Saturday. The thing I'm really confused about is how they can be doing anything on a weekend, because we've always heard that everything's going to pop on a Tuesday for years, and maybe that's just part of the distraction. Maybe this show is part of the distraction. We don't know. Okay, all I do is I report. Don't shoot the messenger. I want to give a special shout out to Brother Dave, and I also want to give a special shout out to I'm at Hardee's, by the way. Let's see. I want to send, Charles Adolph. Charles, thank you for your Christmas donation. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Highly needed and highly appreciated. When you understand the program rates that they've already got contracts signed on, okay? These contracts are signed on. And there has been some releasing of the funds towards the program rates. But what I want you all to understand is that the program rates that have contracts on, okay? You can't have those contract rates without an RV. Okay, you can't have the program rates. These are humanitarian groups at the highest level. Okay, they have their program rates. We are right behind them, and the rest of the information will be coming throughout. Hello, Kim from Australia. All the rest of the information will be coming very soon. Before the end of the show, we might even put some more out there halfway through. But the thing is to keep you on the show. That's the goal. Keep you on the show. We can help you with these health things, health offerings that we are doing. Now, I lied to the lady at Hardee's. She's a very nice lady. I'm at Hardee's because, my house is liberal now. And she said, "What's that on your?" I said, "Oh, it's a bug bite. I got a Band-Aid on." Yeah. Hey, do you know how much? Yes. Send me an email to chancemusic@yahoo.com, CHANCE music@yahoo.com, and I'll respond to you. Okay. So if I'd have got up this morning and I'd have told him, "No, that's a stem cell patch because I'm trying to open my third eye with the energy," okay, I would have heard 5-gallon bucket full of SHIRT. Okay, 5-gallon bucket full. So I just said, "Oh, I got a bug bite last night. I just put a Band-Aid on it." Okay. So, guys, I hope you all had a good Christmas day, and I hope this Christmas season is still blessing you with energy, positive energy, and positive things. I want to bring something to you that I was talking to Doc about before Wyatt and Fascinating Brian came on. Okay. Now, I'm not going to tell you the results, but I am going to tell you that the results were phenomenal. I always listen to a different video at night to put me to sleep because I have a hard time sleeping. I have a hard time, uh, you know, relaxing because my mind won't shut down. Wyatt probably has that same problem too. So does Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But yeah, 51st state's in the house. Yes, it is. I'm very excited about that too, by the way. I'm gonna come to Canada and then I'm gonna jump over and go to Australia. Okay. That's what the plans are for this year. Okay. Very excited about that.
Just hope we don't miss each other as we go across the Pacific.
Yeah. I got a house on the west end of town I'm going to buy, and there's purpose for it, but I will be probably living there by myself, and it'll be when I come to Fort Madison home. It'll have my shop in it and everything, and so when anybody that's coming over to the United States, when I get this house, you guys want to have a place to stay for a night or two, just give me an email, chancemusic@yahoo.com. Brenda, take care of you. And we'll have a good old time because, yeah, it's this coming. Multi-Troy, it's coming.
I have some info on that.
He must have just signed on because he didn't hear the thing about the contract rates. Contract rates have been signed. Okay, that's with the White Hats humanitarian groups. I can tell you the rate. I can tell you the rate on their contract rate. I was not told. I can't say it. So it's $28.50 for the dinar. Now think about that. Jeff, keep drumming, brother. We might need you in the band, okay? My son turned liberal. Not kidding. Okay. 52nd state being Greenland would be great. Wouldn't that be great? Have you seen any videos of Greenland? My God, it's a beautiful country. You know, if you died and you couldn't go to heaven, Greenland would be a good one as long as it was in the summertime. Great. Gospel Warrior, thank you. LifeWave, yeah, great patches. That's what I've got on the energy, trying to open up my third eye. That's right. Party at Chances at Post RV. That's right.
They're going to need a bigger house.
Oh, this is a big house. And it's got the reason I'm going to buy it is because the shop is just, oh my God, it's half the size of a Walmart. And I almost bought it 10 years ago when I had money. But as usual, I made the wrong decision because I don't like the house. It's dated and I don't like steam heat. And I'm thinking, I don't like steam heat? Are you kidding me? Okay, well, that was then. This is now. Boulevard. Boulevard's going to be rocking. Don't worry about that. Okay. So this thing I want to share with you tonight, and I've already got the definition pulled up of the word. Now, this is going to be an interesting few minutes here, so I want you to pay attention and here's the other thing. Take notes. Guys, I'm not kidding you. You will learn so much. These guys have so much to offer. But I was listening, trying to find a good video, and it says this one word can change your life. And so I put it on and I just listened. That's all I did. The word is shlama. SHLAMA. It's an Aramaic word that means peace. Depending on the context and the phrase, it can have a variety of meanings. The word shalom is similar to shlama and also means peace, but it can refer to two entities such as a person and God, or two countries. It can also refer to the safety, well-being, or welfare of a person or of a group. In Israel, people say shalom when greeting or saying goodbye. It is a blessing for coming and going. This word, shlama, has more power. I'm speaking from experience. I've been using the word for 3 days. You need to be using this in conjunction with 520-7418. When you use, what I'm doing. I'm using shlama, 520-7418, and I'm saying it over and over and over again while I'm doing the laundry, and I'm at peace. I don't have any stress at that particular moment. And I've been getting better at going inside myself to try to find that peace, okay? Try to go into yourself and find the peace. You're absolutely right. And I had communicated with Nick before his passing on. And that's why he told me, he says, make sure you tell everybody. And I said, I will. It was almost like he was saying goodbye because we'd only talked 3 or 4 times before. And Iceland's beautiful too. Yes, it is. So, Shlama, 520-7418. If you don't think this doesn't work, you're wrong. It does. New to the channel, thank you for all you do for we the people. God is in control. Questions for you guys. Jesus was not born on December 25th, Nimrod Day, Horus Pagan Day. That's right. You're right. And I don't think anybody has agreed on the birth date of Christ. But I will tell you this. There's a reason why September 11th happened. Because they wanted to put a dark cloud on that day. Think about that. We may have just been told Jesus's real birthday, okay? Or one of the Jesuses, or however you want to see the situation, okay? Because in the history of mankind, there's been many individuals that have shown a very strong semblance. I didn't say resemblance, I said semblance of Jesus Christ. So you take that for whatever you want to take it with. But yeah, it is a pagan day, but I'm going to tell you, and I don't like the Santa Claus thing. I don't like it. I know what it is. We all know this. Everybody here listening already knows all this stuff. Okay? But what I want to do is I've learned to appreciate and acknowledge the Sabbath, which is the first day of the week, which is Saturday. It's not Sunday. Okay? According to the teachings that I have learned, whether it is or not, I can't tell you for a fact. Don't listen to me as an expert because I'm not. But in my spirituality and my particular beliefs, I believe Saturday is the Sabbath and it's the first day of the week. So we got the first day of the week, and then we got Sunday. Well, that's supposed to be the first day of the week according to the Catholics. Okay? So let's not worry about that. Okay? But I think if you're going to express your love of Source, you can do it anytime. You can love Source. You can love God, you can love Jesus, you can love your Creator in your mind anytime. And that's what the Shlama 5207418 does. It honors and it breaks the matrix. And I've seen it work. It's happened to me. Okay. Okay. Enough of that. Wyatt stepped off for a minute. Brian, what do you think about the Shlama thing that I just introduced to everybody? We're curious to hear what you have to say about that.
Sounds like a delicious pudding to me. If there was a pudding called Shaloma. Just saying. Because it's like Shlama. Because I was like, I don't know why I was thinking, it's like, I wonder if there's a pudding like that or something somewhere out there. But anyways, no, that's good. So here's the principle. If you can find words that have more than one meaning in a single idea or identity, it's really powerful. So it doesn't matter what language, but it does amplify your experiences, your existence in your realm. So if it works, it works. But there is a truth or to energy. So because every letter, every word has a frequency. So the more condensed any frequency is, especially when it comes to language, the more powerful the script. So that's just something for all of you to look into. But at the same time, you want it to always reflect the eternal present or the now moment. Yeah, other than that, I agree with there needs to be definitely some type of clearing. So hopefully next year we'll all get that clearing. I am not sure. I am kind of curious as to what holidays will survive. I can imagine none of them surviving except for maybe Thanksgiving. I don't know why. That's the only one that I see kind of surviving. I don't see a Valentine's, don't see another Halloween. Maybe Halloween will change. Yeah, there's a lot that I'm just unsure as this like story continues to move forward.
Well, fall, I don't know how I want to segue into this, but not only are most of the holidays not going to survive, but some of the religions will not survive the change. And one of the religions that will not survive the change, and I use that term religions loosely, is pagan sports. Football, basketball, baseball. July 4th will stay. I believe that is true. I believe that is true, and we can thank George M. Cohan for that. George M. Cohan wrote, "I'm a Yankee Doodle Dandy born on the 4th of July." And I don't know. I don't know what that is. I've noticed that too. But 520-741, and then you got to say a little space there, and then 8. And 369 is taken out. That's right. So you may have helped decode the magic in these numbers. Thank you, Wanda. And what you need to reflect upon is you need to reflect upon on yourself. Brian's told you this before. Your God spark. You need to, and you want to get closer to God. Work on your God spark. That's where it's at, guys. Okay, but the religion of football, baseball, and basketball, I think, is going to be reduced to college sports if there's any colleges left. Think about that now. Think about that just for a minute. Do you know it's a possibility because, see, sports were created for two things. It was created to divide the public, and it was created to keep our attention. And at the same time, they controlled the outcome, and it was all about gambling and making money. Exactly right, Brian. So why would we want to continue those type of traditions? Okay. Also, along with churches, certain churches and religions going debunk. You might be surprised just how many. But the universities, like I just said, but you might be surprised on how many retailers, and it's already starting now. It's already starting. The grocery stores that are surviving are the ones that are the most powerful financially, but they're all getting tore apart very, very, yes, probably hockey too. I think it'll be brought down into an amateur status, and there will never, I don't think all these high salaries will ever, it'll all be history. This is a good one here. Your opinion on future price of silver. Will Social Security increase to a max of $5,000 a month? I believe Inauguration Day will be March 4th, original day for past presidents. 501c3 churches will be gone. Okay, Joey, what you've done here is you've hit the nail on the head on a bunch of stuff. Okay, this guy, we should have him on the show. He's smart. Okay. The future price of silver, I had a Zoom call with some silver investors as if I'm an investor, but I wanted to see what they were saying. So that's why I got invited into the Zoom call. And the Zoom call told the guy held up 10 pieces of silver. Okay. He said in 2 years, he says, these 10 pieces of silver, which is about $35 right now, somewhere in there each. He says, I'll be able to buy any property in California under $5 million. That's priced $5 million now. That's what this guy told me on the Zoom call. And this Zoom call consisted of a lot of people that were a hell of a lot smarter than I am. Okay. I like listening. I like learning. And because the reason silver is in another industry that's going to happen is reclaiming silver from electronics. Okay. What you're going to see in the future, you're going to see people going through landfills and picking out old computers and reclaiming this silver, okay? Because there's a finite amount of silver in the world. It doesn't grow naturally like it grows gold, like Mother Earth grows gold. Mother Earth grows gold. But there's a finite amount of silver, and when it's gone, it's gone. So, yeah. Good one. That's a good one, Jeff. I remember that. Yeah, but it's too violent. Hockey is a very loved sports, but it's just too violent. It promotes separation of the masses. Oh, my team's better than your team. Let's hear for these guys. Oh, F you. And all of a sudden everybody's fighting. And how many hockey? Yes. Thank you, Linda. I love that. All McDonald's globally to shut down forever. I had to go to Hardee's tonight and I had to eat because it's the only place I could broadcast where there wasn't a bunch of liberals. But anyway, it's going to go higher than that. Roy be the man. I'm telling you, it's going to go way higher than that. What do you think about that, Wyatt?
Well, about a year ago now, I was told that silver is actually going to go to $100,000 an ounce US for a troy ounce. That's 99.9% pure, right? So it's going to be a while to get there. This is why silver is such a good investment, because it's going to reach $100,000 an ounce, and gold is said to go to 300,000 US an ounce. These are troy ounces, so it's going to be a journey getting there. But within 5 years, I would say that's all going to happen. Once it gets to those levels, it's going to level out, and it will not fluctuate, because there's a finite. Even now, there is a finite, as Chancellor said, there is a finite amount of silver and there's a finite amount of gold available. So, that's where it's headed. I have no reason to disbelieve the information that I was given about silver and gold. Now, insofar as Jesus and Yeshua, Jesus, his symbol is a fish. Jesus is a Pisces. So he's born around that time of year. But we have to take into account the calendar, right? Which calendar are we going to? We will, we're on the Julian calendar right now. The military are operating on the Julian calendar. And part of this RV and everything like that is all Julian based. But we're going to go to the Creator calendar or the International calendar. And people will have to calculate their birthdays at that particular point in time, but we will be given the codes on how to do that. So don't worry, it's all starting to happen. But yes, the way we celebrate Christmas right now is pagan and whatnot like that. But we're going to have one day a year that is God's day, right? And that's when we will celebrate all of God's works. It won't be just. There won't be a thing called Easter. Easter's pagan as well. So we won't celebrate that. We will have the one day that we celebrate, and it's separate to the calendar. It's a day dedicated to God. It's God's day. So 100K, yeah, holy guacamole, yeah, that's right. But 100K is a lot of money. This is why silver is such a great investment, because the growth in silver will outstrip the growth in gold. Okay, and this is what I've always been told. This is why I've got silver. I don't invest in gold. There's more money to be made in silver, but I've never really been about the money. But I do want to have a good future for myself and my descendants. So anyway, insofar as the sports are concerned, we all need our gladiators. The government needs gladiators to distract you. But when you take away all of the corruption and whatnot, we won't need the gladiators anymore. Anyway, back to you, Chance.
I want to say,
go ahead, Brian.
I wanted to say something real quick. So here's also something to keep in mind. Even though we're told that silver is finite, that is a loose truth. Because again, you're assuming that the scope of our planet, we know the exact size, when in fact we only inhabit such a small fraction. And again, this is just my opinion. So I think there's a lot more silver, but also because of we're in this like nice little bubble separated from everything, we're not going to get like the full truth. So, but at the same time, I believe all these projections are going to be based off of whatever technology comes out, because a lot of it does require precious metals, especially silver, because silver is one of the most, how would I say, versatile, conductive elements that's used, that's quite interchangeable with a lot of technology, especially interstellar technology. And that's where the mineral itself will be able to shine also. So I feel like in my perception, let's say that when the game reaches its conclusion, we can kind of remove our barrier, right? The protective cover. I don't know when that's going to happen. That's when all these metals would be stabilized, right? So they would go less in value. But in the meantime, if you just think about it from a logical, if they keep you confined, keep you in a controlled environment, and yes, again, you're hoping that the benevolent beings or entities are in charge of this process, they can elevate everyone's status. And then when they're ready, and again, they're going to continue to pay attention. Then at some point, maybe that firmament will be removed. And when it's removed, and whether the ice walls are there or some type of change happens within the landscape, then you will be more unified with a bunch of other human-like races or other races. And then you will be grouped in as a part of whatever, again, the question is the size of our planet. So once we're more unified within our realm or aspect, then all these minerals would drop down back into a normal price range, and then we would just have a more expanded version of technology and whatnot. So that's something to like kind of take in and visualize as we kind of like move forward in this game board. But whatever is going to happen, I think it's going to be done from very clever, especially to get us out of where we're at currently. So it is something to look forward to. All right, Chance.
Yeah, well, yeah, sorry. The comment, Joey's comment about the flag, being gold fringe being maritime. No, it's actually admiralty. It's martial. It's a martial type law. It's a military law. Anyway, Dr. Weideman's in the house. So, Chance, I'll let you do the introductions.
Chance, you're muted.
Am I muted? Okay.
Got it. I got it. Okay, this is Dr. Robert Wiedemann. He is a doctor of chiropractic, and he's also a NUCA doctor, which is a step above a chiropractor. It takes a lot of special skills and knowledge to be a NUCA doctor. And he's a personal friend of mine, and his knowledge of nutrition is second to none. And the reason we're having him on and the stem cell ladies on is we are going to be securing a certain percentage of each one of our shows to improving your health. The reason we want to improve your health is to get you ready for the med beds, okay? We want to get you ready for med beds. Any way you can raise your vibrations and help the med bed do its job will be beneficial to your overall health. So right now, I'm just going to I'm going to mute my mic, and I'm going to turn everything over to Dr. Wiedemann, and you got about 12 minutes, sir. So it's all you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Well, of course, we certainly want everyone to benefit from jumping on the minerals. And it's not just the minerals, it's the combination of things that we have to offer as well. Met a very delightful lady today that was referred to me by chance by the name of Elizabeth. And she has got a mind like a bear trap. I mean, she jumped onto this thing. She is ready to develop herself so that she can share this with others, which is a great thing. And, it's not just so much helping yourself we're all about helping others. And so her mind was just like open to everything I presented to her. She duplicated everything I said to her, and she really gets it. Not a lot of people get it. They don't get the idea that the responsibility for health is ours. As I spoke last time about Dr. Strang, who is my philosophy professor at Palmer, said that he had a sign in his office that says, "We have the responsibility to be well." And people would ask him, "Well, why do we have the responsibility to be well?" He says, "Well, because if you're ill, that's a day that you've thrown away and you can't get back. And you not only make yourself miserable, but you make everyone around you miserable." And, people don't realize that a lot of times your health is in your control. I mean, if you have an accident or something, that's different. But even that, your mindset can attract bad things into your life. If you're going on with stinking thinking. And, I want every one of us here to take a look at ourselves. And are we putting on a long face or are we putting on a happy face? Because our internal thoughts. Yeah, there you go, Chance. Chance goes through a lot of crap, but I'll tell you what, he's like a bouncing ball. He bounces back from it because he has an internal attitude that's really positive. And really, I'm teasing you guys about having long faces. It's just because of our thought process. Every one of you here on this show are a bouncing ball as well, bouncing back from the bad stuff and bouncing into the good stuff. Because I know you're all cheerful, and we're all looking forward to cheerful things happening. And the thing with it is that you can overthink this process. Has the proper flow of energy. You betcha. I see. Who's this on there? Implant Truth Survivors. Having proper alignment is key to proper flow of energy. Chiropractic care goes hand in hand with patches, vitamins, and minerals. That's right. And you too are gold. Every one of you out there is gold. And, I've had a little trouble with my phone. I went to get a brand new phone, and it is still at the phone store. I don't know what is going on, but I've had more trouble getting a new phone than I've ever had in my life. So usually I'm able to go in and walk out of the store. But anyway, so the thing with it is that to get a hold of me, just go to getdocsminerals.com. And I'll try to get back to you. If you jump onto that website, put your information in there, listen to Dr. Wallach, and we'll try to get you to understand what we're doing. And I've had so many people, order minerals this last week. It's not funny. So just want to help you out and get you on board and let you know that the trace minerals are the basis for everything that Longevity does, but it's not the only thing they do. We also have we promote the 90 essential nutrients, and we promote the concept of not having fractionated nutrition. Now, one of the things that I learned very quickly in my education was that if you have partial nutrition, now what the medical profession likes to do is they'll come up with a wonder vitamin. This vitamin promotes this and this and this and this and this. And what they're really hoping is you'll go just buy that one vitamin, because they know that if you overtake that vitamin compared to everything else, you're going to have fractionated nutrition, because other items will not go into your system as a result of that. So Dr. Wallach has set up this protocol to get all 90 essential nutrients into your system as quickly as possible. And we have a get started pack to help you do that. And I recommend that people jump on board with that, because it's the easiest way to really see the products and to really understand what to do. And it's the easiest way into understanding everything. So with that, Chance, you've had some experience with the minerals and stuff. You have anything to say about that?
Yeah. I've told this on the shows before, but when I spray the minerals, I ingest it, but I also spray it all over my body. And when I spray it on my face, do you know that feeling when you get out of the shower, how you feel so refreshed and you're wiping your face off with the towel and it feels wonderful? That's what happens to me when I spray the minerals on my face and I just let them absorb in. It's like middle of the day, could be sweating like a pig, spray them on. It's incredible how they work. and you can spray them all over. You know, if you got a rash or something, spray it on the rash. We don't know what it's going to do, but it ain't going to hurt nothing. But it can't do nothing but help. Okay, so Edie Wall says 72 tons of valuable info pouring are from Q. Oh, from Q on BBS Radio. He has info no one else does, a direct experience. He is not guessing. He's outside of the matrix. Edie, send me a link to his radio show, if you can, to chancemusic@yahoo.com, CHANCE music@yahoo.com. And we will, I will start listening to it, and I want to thank you for that information. It's very good. Their next guests that'll be popping in next are Ann and Lillian. And I want you to know that Doc's minerals are going to work hand in hand with the stem cell patches. Okay. Now, Doc, I am getting my minerals tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah. Did you want to put my link up there? GetDocsMinerals.com. So
I've got it over on the private side. Can you put it up on the public side there, Doc?
I will be glad to. Give me a second. Go ahead. 1 second. Okay, keep talking, guys.
Yeah, there you go. I typed it in there so you can see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Bigger. Okay, gotcha.
Anyway, it's going to be when you get the minerals. And here's the thing. I used to pay $35-$40 each, these minerals. Now they got them on special for around $90-some for 4 bottles. Man, that'll last you a long time if you're doing a shot a day and spraying yourself down naked, and this stuff, it works. I mean, this stuff is incredible. Here's Lillian. Bypasses get. She's so far ahead of me. I'm telling you, I don't even know if I should communicate with Ann and Lillian, because these guys are just they're stem cell geniuses. They know all about this stuff. But I got a story for them tonight. Okay, I got a story for you. Did you send Lillian the link?
Yeah, she's coming.
Okay, good. As soon as she pops on, I'm going to tell you guys a story. This happened this week, 3 days ago. Okay. And she'll be popping in a minute. Do you remember the lady out in Las Vegas I had you send the patches to?
Yes.
Okay. To understand the situation, she's in hospice.
Okay.
And she's very incommunicado. And in her hospice level is deteriorating. Okay. It's gradually deteriorating, and very little communications, very little movement, anything. But a few hours after putting the patches on. Is that Lillian coming in?
Not yet.
Hours after the patches were put on her, Maria number 1. I call her Maria number 1 because I have 4 Marias in our group, so I got to designate between the 2 of them. And she sends me a text message the next day, and she says, "Mom got me up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and all she was doing is talking. She's talking up a storm." Now, wait a minute. This is huge. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is really huge. This one. And she continued to talk. For a couple hours. And then when Maria number 1 wouldn't talk with her anymore, getting a little tired. she started doing what'd she say? The alphabet or something. She wanted to communicate something. She wanted to verbalize. Okay. Yes, of course it's because of the patch, because it's sure not because of the cabal medicines that she's being forced to take. Okay. Cabal medicines only want to do one of two things. They only want to kill you, or they want to keep you buying the medicines. That's it. That's all they want to do. And so
They're counterfeit nutrition is what they are.
Right. So what we got here is we've got 6 people on the screen right now.
Yeah, I subtracted myself before.
Yeah, no, we got 6 people on the screen. You're fine.
Okay.
But 5 out of the 6 are using the patches. Okay. Now Ann knows who I'm talking about, but my friend Dana, you know Dana, Doc. You know Dana's not in good shape. Dana's in terrible, terrible shape. And they're feeding him full of drugs. He's had 2 strokes. He cannot talk. He cannot write. His right arm is swollen up. Okay. And there's nothing I can do for him. I could try to talk to his mom. In some cases, medical marijuana is okay. Some cases, but not all the time. Marijuana in any form is very bad on your lungs. People in the know will tell you that. Okay. Dana is stuck. He's between a rock and a hard place. So his friend Alan came up, who has a lot of influence with Dana's mother, who is his power of attorney. And we're trying to figure out a way to get Dana on the patches. But in the meantime, Alan and 2 other people with Alan sign up for the patches because he had the jab and he sees the benefit. Okay. You know what I should have done is I should have made everybody on the show tonight wear a really bad Christmas sweater. I've actually got a picture.
Santa Claus on here.
I can actually show you. I'm going to show you guys in a little bit. I'll show you guys the worst Christmas sweater I have ever seen. Here comes Lillian. Hi, Lillian.
Hi, how are you doing, guys? How are my fellow Hamilton radio mates?
Yeah, we're rocking here on Hamilton Radio, and it's good to see you.
I've been listening. Very exciting about Maria.
I know her mom is doing phenomenal. When from saying practically nothing and then just wanting to chatter, that's incredibly huge.
Yeah.
But I was talking about Christmas sweaters, and I wanted to show you a picture of a lady that works at, I think she works at Fairway. No, she works right here. We go. You got to see this. Ladies and gentlemen, the worst Christmas sweater in the world.
Oh, I agree with you. I concur.
How about that? Does that win the contest?
It's pretty ugly.
Yeah, it, hands down.
Man.
Got to wear sunglasses to be.
When I saw that sweater, I said, I gotta put her on the show. I said, you're gonna be famous. And by the way, Lillian and Ann, I'm wearing my energy patch up here because I'm trying to open up my third eye. Okay. Probably not acceptable, right?
Where's the white one that goes with it?
Huh?
Where's the white patch that goes with it?
I don't know.
So
it's probably under my armpit.
It's a two patch system.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the enhancer is the energy enhancer. So when you open up your sleeve, there's 2 sections. So one section has the brown patches. The beginning
See?
section has the white patches.
Yeah.
White goes on the right.
Yeah. I get it. I get it.
Camera.
Okay,
right.
I will be corrected tomorrow. Now I'll have two of them here. I'll just
So-
say I'll just
No. So what
I'll
you
just tell
want
my
to
son
do,
I got 2 more bug bites.
if you want to wear the tan patch on your pineal gland, then you're going to take the white patch and you're going to put it at the base of where your hairline is, right under
Okay.
the hairline, because then it's like one in front, one in back, and that'll work too, because it's pulling and pushing the energy. So you're
I don't know if y'all can see it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so they work on the hippocampus campus.
Exactly.
Yep, right.
All right, that's great
So you
news.
learn something new every day.
Does
Most of the patches are a one patch system, but
Yeah.
the Ice Wave, which is for pain, and the Energy Enhancer, they're 2-patch system. Those are the only 2 that have the 2 patches.
Exactly.
Yeah, the minerals are great, and they work great with the stem cell patches. So,
Yes.
if you want to see now, here's what I'm noticing. Okay, now tonight in particularly, even though my dark things are coming up again, but that's because of external sources in my house.
Those will
Okay.
get purged, because anytime you have any kind of discoloration, if you have, let's say, puffiness under the eyes, that means that your kidneys are retaining water. If you have dark circles, there's toxins in your kidneys that your body's trying to get rid of. Those things are all going to get balanced as you wear the patches. And we have people on dialysis. You have Orlon Hamilton, who last week we had him on our Zoom call, and we actually have that on my YouTube channel where people can watch it in only a week. If you want, I can share that right now from my cell phone and you guys can watch it. Is that okay if I do that, Chance?
Sure.
Orlon, he had.
Guess what? I have something to share with you. You, the person who's watching this video right now.
This is so amazing.
Wait till you see what I'm going to share with you. Right, Orlon, it's been about 2 weeks since you started on the patches?
Right, yeah. And I can tell you that for the first time since I started dialysis, my nephrologist said to me yesterday, "Oh, your blood work is boring. There's nothing for me to talk about."
Beautiful. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. That was really great to hear. Like, everything is perfect.
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks, you know. And even my sister, who started on remember on Saturday, on Friday I told her she was having pain in her lower waist. She started Saturday morning, and 3 hours in, the pain was gone.
Fabulous. Wow, because she was in really bad pain.
Yeah, she couldn't walk.
Yeah.
And she was having a hard time. When she do get up, she was having a hard time standing. And now she's outside planting and doing her garden, and she's moving around, no pain at all. So, you know, these patches work.
So there you have it, my friends and gems. Now you understand why.
Okay, so any of you who want to watch that, you can just go to my YouTube channel and you can see all the different testimonials. I've been doing a lot of events this month. You'll see people who got patched, and Orlon, him and his sister, and he's got so many of his family members, as you guys already know, because they're under Chance and Doc G and Wyatt and now Brian as well. And it's just incredible the results that just his family's having, let alone everybody else. You know, you already know about David Urban. It's so exciting.
Guys, right here on the screen right now, it says if you want to get LifeWave patches, you need to contact Doc G at gdpent1@yahoo.com. Contact Doc G. I am swamped. Okay, we want to get Doc G to get a little bit more kicking in the company. So what I want you to do is put that email up one more time, Doc. So if you want to get the patches, we want to get you on the program, or you want to get the minerals, he can forward everything on to Ann and Doc and Lillian. Okay. But get a hold of Doc G at GDPENT1, GodPent1. Right.
Yeah.
At yahoo.com. GDPENT1 at yahoo.com. Get a hold of Doc G. He will forward you. He won't fold you. He's not going to fold you. He's going to forward you to the right people.
Yeah.
And ask Lillian.
Yeah. So a couple things. I want to answer Denise Rice. She says, do you put X39 patch on the hip area and for how long? So you're going to take X39, preferably the Fantastic 5, and you're going to put them right on your hip. You can put them in a circle. Like tonight, I normally don't wear this here because I don't have heart issues or lung issues, but I wanted people to see that if you have heart issues or you have lung symptoms, you can put them in a circle where you take X39 at the top, and then you just go clockwise, and you go 39, 49, glutathione, carnosine, and eon, put them over your heart, put them over your lungs. If it's a hip, if it's the front, the side, or back of the hip, you'll just take those 5 patches, point to where you feel the pain, and patch it. So I also wanted to give a commendation to the doctor that you had on earlier that was talking about Dr. Wallach, because I have personal experience for years with longevity, and the fact that they have the 90 minerals in a spray form. Dr. Wallach is an unsung hero, in my opinion. He is brilliant at what he does and what he's done with his supplements with longevity. And so our scientist talks about all the time, you have to have good water. When you're patching, it's not like you patch and can't drink water and don't eat good food and don't take supplements. You need to have proper nutrition. Our food supply is very deficient and very toxified by all sorts of, even organic crops get chemtrails over them. So it's important to have proper supplementation. So the fact that you can get 90 of the 92 micronutrients and minerals that you need through Longevity, who is a very reputable company, game changer. You're going to, and I love the fact that, oh my gosh, Wyatt, you are intuitive and so in tune with your inner being that you knew not to just take it orally, but you're spraying it on your face and your skin, because your skin is your third kidney. So now it doesn't matter if your digestive system is not in order, if you don't have the right microbiomes, because you're absorbing it through your skin straight into your bloodstream. Brilliant. So for all of you who are like, well, there's certain things I don't like the taste of supplements, spray it on yourself.
How you like that new salesman there I got for you, Doc? Huh? Isn't she something?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's not about selling anything. It's about teaching and educating.
I know.
And when I've had a personal mission statement since I want to say around 2006. And that was to facilitate, educate, and encourage people with information so that now you have a foundation where you can baby step towards whatever your goal is in terms of your health and your well-being. And when you don't have foundational information, then you feel like you're like falling because you don't know where to take it, which direction to take a step. But if I can facilitate, educate, encourage, empower you with the right information, now you have something to stand on, because I've already collected, captured, and then conveyed to you the facts, and then you can vet them out for yourself. So that's why you don't have to sell anything. It's a matter of education.
Well, it's also the fact that when you've got a product that is so good that works and you can actually see the results quickly, you get excited about it. How can you not tell other people about it?
It would be criminal not to withhold something.
You get excited about it. Oh, geez, this has happened. And, people are like that. It's human nature. So, these products do sell themselves because of the results, and people who use them, get excited about, geez, I couldn't do this before, I can do this now. And that's the selling point. But it's the excitement of the people and the fact that the products actually work.
Yes.
I'm I'm a chiropractor, and I've been in practice for quite some time, and in NUCA, and we consider NUCA the. I don't want to say we're better than anybody else, but I'll tell you what, the advancement in NUCA is amazing, and I just had a friend who has been a board certified NUCA chiropractor for years. Just passed away in his driveway at age 68. So removing interference is not enough. You've got to have these essential nutrients because they actually form the genetic. And I don't know if you can see this on here or not. Maybe not. I'll have to show you, get in touch with me. But the genetic fingers, the metallic fingers that join the DNA together. You've got the strands, and you have the struts in DNA, and you got this little gap in between, and the metallic fingers fit in there. Those are the minerals. When they're missing, the genes turn off. The gene is right here where the strut and the strand meet, and those genes, just like Christmas tree lights, turn off when the metallic fingers are missing. So when you hear somebody say, "Oh, it's genetic," well, it's also nutritional. In fact, I met on a trip that I was in with my senior business partner, Marvin, where he and Dr. Wallach had worked in Indiana for years, because the soils of Indiana are deficient in selenium. And selenium deficiency will cause muscular dystrophy and cystic fibrosis. Dr. Wallach proved this with some research projects that he was involved in. And I personally met a young man that he had pulled out of cystic fibrosis. I believe it was either cystic fibrosis or muscular dystrophy, but he had been dead years ago. So, I just wanted to emphasize that I feel really bad that I didn't talk to my friend about this years ago. Their mind is all set in chiropractic, and they sometimes neglect the nutritional side of it. So I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry. I just felt passionate.
No, that was very important and a good point. I did want to address somebody just put up there, will it help the high blood pressure? And I can attest that as a dental hygienist, I take blood pressure on my patients, and they were so high the other day that the doctor wasn't going to be able to do an extraction the next day because she needed to get a tooth out that was abscessed. And we try our best to do holistic versus, and if it's a back tooth that doesn't need to be there, rather than do a root canal and put more poison in them, we'd rather suggest that we pull it so that they can have an overall health. So he wasn't going to be able to extract it because her blood pressure was just way too high. And I went, just a minute. I ran to the back. I got an X39 and I put it on her right here to relax her a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I waited 1 full minute, and I took her blood pressure, and it was down on the top 30 points and on the lower 20 points in 1 minute, guys. It was just amazing. So the doctor said, "Can she have one for tomorrow morning?" I said, yes. So I gave her one for the next day so that she could wear it when she got the extraction.
Good.
And then Justin was asking, what are these? These are patches that reawaken 33% of your stem cells that are dormant. Because by the time you're in you're 60, you only have 10% of your stem cells left that are still active. The rest are just dormant. They're not dead. They're just dormant. And by the time you're 30, 35, you're down to 50%. So as we age, we've lost 50% when we're in our prime. And so to have all those reawaken or to get them back up to speed by wearing the Fantastic Five, well, the X39 wakes up 33%. You wear that Fantastic Five, it's going to help detox, organ support, inflammation, brings it down. So by doing that, you're able to awaken some stem cells, and those stem cells then are able to do their job. And these are the stem cells from when your mom and dad's sperm met and united, not from your mom was exposed to cigarette smoke or to alcohol or to drugs while she was pregnant with you. It's the original stem cells from when God created you and made you perfect. So hopefully that helps answer your question, Dustin.
That's great. Thank you. Guys, I have I'm going to have to, the show is going to go short tonight. I'm going to, about 5 till I have to leave because Hardy's closes at 9 o'clock.
Oh,
So, yeah,
Oh, I can
but
cover you.
there's something I need to address. Okay. And one thing I need to address is if you want a trust with teeth, okay, Raymond Lee has the trust for 50% off. These are real trusts with real teeth, and they will get you through the redemption process, and you will get everything that you need to put your assets into a trust, and he will explain things to you. And after you get the trust, if you have any questions, you can always call me because I've had a lot of trust law, a lot of it. Before Doc even moved into the area, I had 8 years of trust law every week. Phil and I used to go to the classes. And you knew that, didn't you, Doc? He didn't know that. Okay.
Are you talking to me or Doc G?
You.
Oh,
Not me.
yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
8 years. 8 years.
Chance would go in there, and he'd sit there in a chair, and they were wondering why he didn't take any notes. He'd come out there and he could spit out everything they told him.
Yeah, I'm auditory. I don't remember everything, but I do pretty good. I got the Bible. I got the Living Bible on video, and sometimes I go to bed listening to that. So that's kind of cool. There's lessons to be learned, but Raymond Lee has got this incredible trust, and if you want it, you need to send me an email, chancemusic@yahoo.com. It's 50% off. Okay. And because we are so close, okay, everything is, and you're going to need a good trust with teeth. If you can't afford a good trust with teeth, if you've got the RV protocol papers, then you can open up to about page 50, and you're going to see a free common law trust in there that I have provided. But you need the RV protocol papers so you can be ready, and you need a trust because they're going to want to know that you're going to be a good steward for the money before. Boy, they're making a lot of noise here.
Yeah, and
they want to make sure you're going to be a good steward of the money is what they want. Okay, there's Jody.
Chance, the great thing about that trust that's in the RV documents is that will get you through until you can get a stronger trust. Because I believe that trust in the RV papers is a revocable trust, is it not?
Okay, I'm going to answer Jody's question that's come up on. Yeah, the trusts are either revocable or irrevocable as far as the trusts go. Okay, Now, Jody McFadden, that's my daughter. She says, so tell me about these patches. With all due respect, I have to wonder, Chance, why you haven't tried them on her mother. Okay, ladies, can these patches help my mom? Has he asked you this yet? Well, let me explain something to you, Jody. Okay. First of all, living in a care facility, they control what kind of medications and treatment she gets. If I was to put patches on her, they would take them off if they saw them.
She would have to put them on herself.
Yeah, and the entire process would be against the cabal formula of medication and care. Does anybody disagree with me what I've just said? No. Anybody here? If you disagree with me, hold your hand up. Because here's the thing. I have tried to do things like this to help her. And now I'm going to explain to you exactly why these things don't work. Doc, would you please care to explain to my daughter Jody what the definition of the word medicosis is?
Well, let me see if I can find it. I'd rather read it than try to do it from memory. So let me see if I can bring it up here. Hold on.
While he's looking it up real quick, I wanted to answer the Australian question. So Wyatt is using the patches. Wyatt did order through the Chance Doc G show. And even though we're in the United States, we're in 82 countries. Therefore, we're able to have them shipped out of the distribution center closest to you.
Yeah.
So that way the credit does go to the show so that the show is able to keep running and have the finances to run, as well as everybody's kind of like family when we do this. And so you're going to have personalized information coming from Lily and I. We're not going to leave you. We're not going to make you wonder about something. You get direct reach out to us once we contact you. And if you have questions, we will get to you. It may not be immediately, but we are pretty quick at least responding. And then we try to set up times to speak to you. We don't want anybody to have questions that go unanswered. We will do our best. And if we do, we apologize, because we have tried our best to reach out to everybody that's reached out to Chance and Doc G, Wyatt, and Brian.
Yeah, we all do it within 24 hours. Tomorrow is Friday, because today is the 26th, the day after Christmas. Even though yesterday was the 25th, Ann and I were on the phone with people who were ready to get started on the patches. And so we were talking to not just Americans, but Kiwis and Australians. And some of you are on here, you know who you are. And we were answering their questions, and we don't mind, because honestly, I don't feel like what I do is work. I absolutely love and adore what I do. I love to get people out of pain, to give them a relief, and to empower them to use something that is going to benefit themselves. And also, it usually affects the entire family and all their friends and family around them. So I don't mind at all. So tomorrow we will be having, first of all, after we're done with this show, for those of you who want to jump on a Zoom, you can jump on our Zoom. You just go to DameLillianZoom.com and jump on the Zoom. We can answer any of your questions. If you're ready to get started, we can help you get started. We're going to meet you where you're at. And then tomorrow, which is Friday for Americans, but it's Saturday for Kiwis and New Zealanders and anybody who might be in South Korea or Japan, if we have anyone from that part of the world. It'll be Saturday for you guys, but at 12 p.m., 2 p.m., and 7 p.m. Pacific time, we will have, those are my Zoom office hours. As a group, you can jump on, ask questions. If you got your patches and are curious about where do I put these patches, we can do patch placement. We're there for you 3 times a day. And then in between, it'll be then as we arrange, or we can do a good old fashioned phone call. We were on earlier today with Betty Spence from Kentucky, weren't we, Ann?
Yes.
I know she's on here too, answering her questions, because she just got her patches, and she's like, where do I put it on me? Where do I put it on my husband? So we took good care of her. And then she has other people that she's interested in getting started on here. This benefits everybody. And of course, it's going to help because it puts dollars in the pockets of Chance, Doc G, Hamilton Radio, Wyatt, Brian. So you guys, this is something that is not only helping your health, there's also the humanitarian aspect. And do you want to let the cat out of the bag about Roberta?
Excuse me.
I don't know. Should we?
Let's save that for next week. Let's
Okay.
save that for
Real
next
quick,
week.
is it Jody? That's your daughter?
Yeah.
Okay, so Jody, real quick, I'm in the health industry as well, and to give you rest assured, I don't know if this has ever happened to your family, but our aunt just passed away in a facility. And no matter what we took up there, and the same thing happened to my grandmother until I got her moved to a better facility, stuff went missing all the time. So if we were to spend the kind of money on these patches and just put them up there and trusted that they would get placed on her, I'm not sure that would happen. And I sure would hate for your family to lose out on that kind of money. Now, if you know for sure that people would place them on her in proper timing and take care of her and not steal them, it might be something to have a conversation at a later date, just all of us on a private call.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doc W got that. Doc W has that definition.
I wanted to piggyback on that because Anne, I told her about someone in my particular team who the sister bought for her younger sister who's in an assisted care facility. Martha happens to be on the West Coast and her sister is on the East Coast in an assisted care facility. And she bought her $1,500 worth of patches because her sister has been on the patches for some time and they moved her from one facility to the other. And even though we had confirmation that FedEx delivered the patches and we know who signed for the patches at the assisted care facility, they said that they were lost, that they didn't know where they were. We're like, that's $1,500 worth of medical devices that are lost. It's like, I'm sorry, no, you can't say that they're lost, that you don't know where they are. So then I called, so my person, Martha, who we got her started on the patches, she was very distraught because here she is out of state and she's like, what do I do? Because she spent a couple $1,000s worth of patch. This is a reorder of patches for herself and then $1,500 for her sister, who is in terrible pain to the point where she's screaming and very unruly. So long story short, I said, let me call back. And then I had the name of the person who had signed. So I told the receptionist, I said, oh, would you tell me who is the superior to XYZ person's name? Because I'd like to send a thank you note because this person is being very helpful, blah, blah, blah. Not entirely the truth, but I needed to get to who was the superior and not have to waste a lot of time trying to, get to the bottom of this. So I got the person's name. I called her back and I said, your employee so-and-so signed for this. And she says, when I talked to her, she says that she has no idea where it is, that yes, she may have signed for it, but it's somewhere in the facility, but it's lost. And I said, this is completely unacceptable because if that patient needs those meds, and oh, by the way, these aren't meds, these are medical devices. She paid for that and that is sent to her name. She needs to have it in her possession. She says, oh, well, we'll have to track it down. I said, you have a fiduciary duty. You have a legal obligation to this. You're contractually held to taking care of that patient and whatever meds, medical devices. If she needed a wheelchair, you can't withhold that wheelchair, which is a medical device from her. Oh, we'll get back to you. So then I called the next day. She found them in her office. But then they still would not give them to the patient, to Miriam, because she said her thyroid is way out of sorts. Unless the doctor says that, she can take this medicine. And I'm like, but that's not medicine. And it's not your call. She goes, well, I'm the head nurse. I go, but it's not your call. It's the doctor's call. So give the medical devices to the doctor because the doctor is responsible for her care, not you. We had to go around and around. It took weeks for that to kind of get resolved. So this is the type of nonsense that we have to deal with. And so now what my person's doing, she's not sending those patches to her sister directly at the facility. She's sending it to her niece that lives maybe about an hour away from the facility. And then her niece goes to the facility and gives them to Miriam. And now Miriam, now she's like, she can't go without the patches because she's putting them on herself. But the care workers will not put them on her. They refuse. And so it's the only hospitals, emergency rooms, ERs, the doctors are cool. Assisted care facilities, elderly care facilities, different beast.
Yeah, it's also
well,
got to do
on that thought comes this definition.
Wait a minute, Doc. Wait a minute, Dr. Wiedemann. I want now. My family suffers from medicosis. Okay, I do not. And now Dr. Wiedemann is going to explain to you the exact definition of medicosis. Go ahead, Doc.
Okay, medicosis, an artificially induced mental state of deference to MD-directed allopathic reductionist rituals and or treatments. Number 2, the preconditioned tendency of a patient to uncritically accept MD-directed allopathic reductionist treatment, often to the exclusion of more natural approaches to healthcare. Number 3, a state of mind resulting from single or multi-generational cultural influences exerted by the medical personnel in the practice of medicine as dictated by the medical industrial complex. This state preconditions the masses to submissively accept MD-directed allopathic reductionist rituals and or protocols, compelling them into treatment regardless of the scientific basis for such treatments. Number 4, a mental distorter characterized by a patient's perceived incapacity to meet the ordinary demands of life without seeking MD-directed allopathic reductionist medical intervention, especially when caused by unethical manipulation through indoctrination, suggestion, intimidation, or legal pressure by health bureaucrats, medical personnel, the educational system, and or the media.
Okay.
Number 5, the tendency.
Doc, Hardee's is closing in like 2 minutes, and I got to get out of here. So, guys, here's the thing. Anne, I will give my daughter your email and Lillian's email, and if you guys want to.
What happened, Chance?
What happened to Chance?
Like we've lost him.
Goodbye, Chance.
Chance, you still there?
No,
I finish this?
Finish it. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Number 5, the tendency resulting from such manipulation for a patient to select MD-directed allopathic reductionist medical intervention, often to the exclusion of more natural options such as Ayurvedic medicine, acupuncture, supplements, homeopathy, or herbal remedies, or patches. I put that in there just now. Number 6, the mental conditioning undergone by medical students through indoctrination, fear, fatigue, stress, intimidation, pressure, or desensitization, leading them to accept and conform to rituals and protocols established by the medical industrial complex, also the resulting state of mind of medical personnel. 7, any addiction to medical intervention or the practice of medicine itself. Now, the next one is medicotize, which is related to medicosis. Number 1, to artificially induce a mental state of compliance with MD-directed allopathic reductionist rituals, protocols, and or treatments through suggestion, conversational hypnosis, psychotropic drugs, or any other invasive medical procedure. Number 2, to seduce, intimidate, manipulate, or otherwise influence someone into compliance with inappropriate MD-directed allopathic reductionist treatments, rituals, or protocols. Number 3, to interfere with the patient's choice of natural forms of treatment, such as Ayurvedic medicine, acupuncture, aromatherapy, chiropractic care, naturopathy, nutritional supplementation, homeopathy, or herbal remedies in favor of more dangerous, costly, or inappropriate MD-directed allopathic reductionist treatments, especially when such treatments result in death, disability, illness, or injury. Number 4, to facilitate a patient's death, disability, illness, or injury through compelled or forced compliance with inappropriate medical rituals and or protocols. And the last one is, I got a couple more. Medicide, termination of human life by medical intervention, typically performed by medical professionals using MD-directed allopathic reductionist rituals or protocols. This term primarily refers to medical doctors, but also includes paramedical personnel acting under the influence or direction of MD-directed allopathic reductionist protocols. 2, the mass murder of people by lethal medical mandates and or broadcast the broadcast of compelling propaganda that results in multiple deaths due to MD-directed allopathic reductionist methods. 3, the unethical practice of mercy killing, especially in long-term or short-term care, to reduce medical populations in overcrowded facilities. Medical assault, The intentional acts by persons that create an apprehension in an individual or patient of imminent, forcible, MD-directed allopathic reductionist medical procedure that the individual considers harmful, offensive, inappropriate, or in violation of their conscience or will. Number 2, any medical mandates enacted by government officials or bureaucrats that creates apprehension in any individual, any persons of imminent, forcible, MD-directed allopathic reductionist medical procedures that is perceived as harmful, offensive, inappropriate, or in violation of their conscience or will. And the last one is medical battery. An intentional, unpermitted act or treatment by MD-directed allopathic reductionist medical personnel causing another person to undergo MD-directed allopathic reductionist medical examinations and or treatment, including but not limited to devices, surgeries, injections, or the ingestion of foreign materials or substances, particularly when the individual perceives these actions as harmful, unwarranted, or in violation of their conscience or will. And the last one is medical battery concerns the right to bodily autonomy, asserting that individuals have the right to have their bodies left alone by others, especially in the context of medical treatment.
Yeah. Now, that also, apart from those
definitions. Wyatt, hold on a second. That was just Chance on the phone. His Wi-Fi got shut off at Hardee's. So he's going to go back home and get on his Wi-Fi and then get back on the show with us. So go ahead. Continue.
Oh, good.
Awesome.
Good.
Well, the thing is, apart from what the doctor has just read out, when people go into an aged care facility or things like that, it's in the contract that they have the final say on medical treatments.
Which is crazy.
You have an enduring power of attorney beforehand, this is the way they operate. This is why they make it so difficult to get alternative treatments into the facility, particularly in Australia. So that explains, but that what the doctor read out just goes to show you how crooked, corrupt, and evil the medical profession is.
So one thing
hold on one second. There is a new friend on here. Her name is Cynthia Zioli. She's a holistic healer, and she will be on the next couple weeks with us very soon. So I just want to give her a shout out, let her know we heard about her, and just say hi to her and welcome her, because she's got sound energies, she's got healing wands, and other things for holistic healing. So we're going to be talking to her about that later as we go on. So go ahead, Lily, and get.
And I mentioned in the chat, I mentioned to her to jump on our Zoom afterwards, because Ann and I definitely want to talk to her and make her part of this, because we need more people to get to more people. We can't do it all ourselves. So we're definitely looking for people to collaborate with Hamilton Radio 1. So back to the whole contract, that when you sign and you put somebody in assisted care facility, as a general rule of thumb, and I've done this with doctors' offices and hospitals and all sorts of different, even in banks, whenever you see a clause, like it's very typical whenever you go to a doctor's office, a medical clinic, a hospital, there's a clause in there that says that you give up your rights to sue and that you have to opt or agree to arbitration. And what I do is I cross it out, because I never give up my rights to anything. So I cross it out, I initial it, and I put the date. And inevitably, the person at the front desk will go, whoever the nurse or the office manager are like, well, you can't do that. I'm like, oh, no, yes, I can. I can definitely do that. And if the doctor has an issue with it, just have him talk to me about it, because I'll make it very clear to him. Not a problem. Never, ever, ever have I been refused service. They're like, they don't even touch it. I go ahead and I get the treatment. If they mess up or they do something they're not supposed to, guess what? I didn't give up my rights.
Right.
And now,
and you can also sign with all rights reserved without prejudice, and that helps too.
And
because the thing with this,
go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things that we got to realize in this country is that this country has tried to trample on our rights. Now, I've had a conversation with artificial intelligence on this. And it likes to come across and talking about sovereign citizens. Well, there's no such thing. You're either sovereign or you're not. And the thing that is that the preamble to the Declaration of Independence was, we hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal and they have have certain unalienable rights, among which are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And see, that's what's trying to be taken away from us. That's what this medicosis is all about. It's a medical industry. Did you know that Benjamin Rush tried to put in the Bill of Rights? He wanted something in for medical freedom, and it didn't get in there because he predicted exactly what's going on today. Medical tyranny is what it is. Medical tyranny. And fortunately, we have JFK Jr. fighting for our behalf, Yeah,
Robert F. Kennedy. Yep, I was just saying he's going to be the one that makes that amendment. I would assume, because he knows his history too. But moving along, there is RV news. I will share what I have when Chance gets back.
Good.
Coming back, but it's not anything groundbreaking. It's just common sense logic, and a lot of people, we're getting hung up on dates and rates and everything like that, and when's it going to happen? But it's happening. It's going to be happening very, very soon. I'll tell you, it's not that far. There's a code that President Trump uses, and he talks. He's the commander. Just remember, he's the commander-in-chief of the military. So keep that in mind when I say that.
Okay, and
he's on the patches.
Yeah,
go ahead.
He's on the patches, and we also have RFK, who has been on the patches. We patched him in October. And I actually have on my team that have personally spoken to both Trump and also have spoken to RFK, because we have the largest medical team, literally, of doctors with not just MDs, but PhDs behind their name, and holistic care practitioners in the world in 82 countries. And that's why we have that kind of access. And our scientist was asked by Trump to be on his health administration cabinet, and he declined because his first allegiance and responsibility that was, given to him by our creator is to heal the world globally. And so he's like, no, there's only so much bandwidth. I'm very focused on just this. I'm honored that you would ask, but he declined it.
Okay, guys, I don't mean to interrupt anybody, but here's what we got to do. We're going to have to sew this thing up for tonight. We're going to be on next Thursday night. All the people that you see here will be here with an additional one lady who is also coming on to talk about her advantages in some very special healthcare options. So what I want you to do is tell me who she is, Doc, and give me your final thoughts for tonight.
Cynthia Zioli.
Cynthia Zioli. I had a great conversation with her. I found her on TikTok, and she's an amazing lady that deals with sound wave energy and healing wands, as you know. Different types of med beds that can be used for anything at any time. And they're really very inexpensive. And they're all over the place. And plus, there's some that are, I think she said they're in Florida for free if they want to visit here. And she has some things going on in New York as well. If they're around the tri-state area, they can also go there and try them and see if they like them and use the facilities there for free. So I think that's the way to reach the people out there, by appealing to them in the different ways that we do. We always try to find ways to find more people that need more help than us, and then at the same time helping us at the same time. So I think that's where this holiday has brought us to, Chance. Not only congregating together for the same mindset, but also becoming one as we try to heal as many people as we can around us, while we heal our lives financially, physically, and mentally.
Don't forget spiritually.
And spiritually, yes.
Comprehensively, yeah.
All right. Wyatt, what do you got for your final thoughts tonight, brother?
Well, my final thoughts are about, the RV. We're on the Julian, the military are acting on the Julian calendar. President Trump, when he talks about things, he's talking about the Julian calendar because he's the commander-in-chief of the military, which means that, the RV and everything associated with it is being done by the military. Remember, it's always been a military operation. And if you look at it, it's the 7th of January, or they're very close by, within a couple of days either side, that the RV is going to occur. All right. And we are supposed to be falling into a 10 days of darkness, or the communications blackout. All right. Something's going to happen that's going to cause that. But the RV, remember this, the RV cannot occur until the crash of the stock market occurs. It can't. Because right now, you see how the stock market's rising and rising and rising. There's a reason for that. They're getting the money out of the cabal to bring it all down. Right? So the thing is with that, when the stock market crashes, 10 days of darkness, communications blackout, then the RV will occur. The RV cannot occur because they have to, until that happens, because the fiat has to be destroyed completely. So we're in for a very interesting week and a half. Put it that way. I'll leave the rest to you, Chance. Thank you very much.
That's right. All right, fascinating, Brian. What do you got?
All right. Well, this message is to your daughter, Jody, and this is really important for her to understand. Okay, so I need you to pay attention carefully. I've known your dad for quite some time. He is a good person. So I also kind of know the dynamics of the family and the energy. No matter what your mother chooses, free will must be honored because of the conflict in energy dynamics and how she expresses herself. The patches, yes, it's true they will work, but they will have to work extra hard. Why am I saying this? Because your mom has certain habits. So she needs, if she is going to if you're going to want this idea for her, she has to do it for herself. That means she has to change how she values her emotional energy. She has to work hard in order to be complementary to your father. That is very important. She also needs to change what she consumes. So there's a lot of things layered. It isn't just the patches are going to be a quick fix. In fact, it's going to have to work really hard. Your mom is going to have to work really, really hard and want to change if you want to see her, up and about. If she does nothing for herself and she says, you know what, I'm just going to let them do things for me here, then you're going to end up, feeling like lost. Because again, each an individual person has to want to do things for themselves. And if she does not pay attention to that or hold that idea, let her honor her own path. But also, please do not make your father responsible for her, because he has a lot on his plate. He has done a great many things for you. And I think you or your family should really appreciate what he goes through for all of you, above and beyond, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
So can I add something to that? Because I think Brian is so spot on. I have so many people, and I'm sure Anne also faces this too. I have parents who come to me and say, oh, my son's a meth addict, or my daughter's an alcoholic and she's not taking care of her kids. And, will this get rid of their alcoholism or their addiction to cocaine or meth or whatever their addiction is? And I said, well, let me preface this by saying that there's no such thing as a patch that will take away your free will. There just isn't. So there is no patch to take away your free will. You have to respect everybody's divine free will and whatever soul contract they have with their maker. So that's first and foremost. So just to use as an example, who I was just talking to you guys about before, about Martha, whose sister Miriam had that whole debacle with her assisted care facility. Because when Miriam first wanted her sister to get on her patches, her sister was in horrific pain, horrible depression, a lot of dysregulation through her body. She didn't want anybody to touch her. She was screaming, very unruly, very difficult and contentious to deal with. And so Martha asked me for advice. She goes, what do we do? Because she doesn't want anybody to touch her. She's like a crazy woman. And I go, you need to have a conversation with her, and you need to physically hold her hand. You're her sister, and you're going to have to, go unattached with whatever, just be fine with whether she says yes or no. And just tell her, I go, look, the whole family is rallying around you, doing everything we can to provide you the medical care that you need, but you need to meet us halfway. And we have something that can make all the difference in the world. You can say yes to it, or you can say no to it. But if you don't let us help you, then you can stay as you are and get infinitely worse, or agree to this and potentially get infinitely better. But the choice is yours, and we're not going to force you to do anything. And whether you say yes or no, I'm not attached to it, but you need to know this is where we stand. And if you just want to go to a place of greater pain, then that's your choice. Well, she must have heard something, because she agreed to allow her, and Miriam was in person where she was able to patch her. And then that whole thing that I shared with you happened when the patches ran out. The patches were ordered in time so she wouldn't run out. And then, of course, they miraculously disappeared, even though they were signed for. So the long story short is that she has turned around, and now she's like, I can't be without these patches. And she herself is putting the patches on, where she really couldn't do that when we started her on the patches. But pretty quickly, she was able to put them on herself, which, if you know how dysregulated, it's kind of, to me, it's like you have to have a certain point where, when you have a family member that is that dysregulated and is in that much pain, you also have to trust in that the Almighty will intercede, that the Almighty who created that person is going to be speaking to them, either in their wake state, in their sleep state. They'll put an angel in their midst. Angels are human beings that are used as messengers to speak to us, and that it will resonate in a way that it doesn't with all the chatter that's around. And you just have to trust that. If we ask, we'll receive. If we knock on the door will be open. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. That is biblical scripture. That is not just in the Christian and the Catholic and the Jewish Bible. If you look at all the different texts, sacred texts, from Taoism to Buddhism to Hindi, they all say the same thing. And so we have to trust, believe, and surrender. And we can't want it more for people wanting it for themselves. So that being said, because we all have these difficulties, we don't live in a perfect world, but we have to respect individual free will. That's the greatest gift. Aside from love, love is the most healing, the most majestic, the most magical, transformative, highest vibrational frequency that we have. But free will is the prime directive in whether you believe in universes, multiverses. That's the prime directive, period. And so we have to respect free will.
Thank you, Lillian. Doc, you're after Ann, but listen, go ahead and give us your final thoughts tonight, Ann.
My final thoughts are, thank you, everybody, for your kindness and receptiveness and everything. And somebody in Australia just keeps saying we can get them in Australia. Yes, you can get them in Australia. You just order them through Doc G's email. You get in contact with us. We order them. It comes straight from Australia to you. So you're not waiting for it to come from the United States to Australia. There is a distribution center there. When we enter you in, even Wyatt has ordered them. We placed it in the computer. It came faster from the Australian site. So just know that the company is in 82 countries, and that they have them, whichever facility is closest to you, that's where they're being mailed from.
Yeah. And another thing is, like, notice that sometimes when
Thanks, Ann. Appreciate it. Doc?
Yeah. I wanted to answer Jody's question about. She said it sounded like I was everything I was promoting is in there. No, actually not. You just heard that because a couple of things that I promote are in there. But actually, this comes from years of interaction with medical professionals and study. And go out and read the book "Confessions of a Medical Heretic" by Robert Mendelsohn. A lot of that came from that, and so really, what it boils down to is that I lived through the time when I was going to chiropractic college. 5 chiropractors sued the American Medical Association, and it took them years to win that suit. And they were guilty of racketeering and antitrust, and they were ordered to start working with us. They didn't want to, but they were ordered to by the judge. And that's the only reason why the chiropractic profession survived. They proved that the medical profession had gone on a specific campaign to do away with chiropractors and disparaging them in their office. And they do the same to all these, every one of these. Hence this definition of medicosis. It's time we started calling a spade, because they're going to interfere with patches or anything else that might work just because it isn't them.
All right, thank you very much, guys. This has been quite a panel of experts here tonight, and we're all going to be back here next week, and we're going to take this thing further than what it is, and we're going to have another lady join the team. Guys, here's the thing: we know this stuff works, we use it. Okay. Now, we can't force anybody to do it. And we cannot force
entertainment purposes.
We cannot, you got to remember one thing, okay? The patches by itself are not a fix all. There's certain things you have to control. One is diet. Second is spirituality. Another thing, and last but not least, is the understanding that the perception of healing is within you, and it's not with the doctor.
And we're not making any medical claims at all. We'll make that very, very clear. Nobody is making a medical claim.
Right. We're just talking about experiences. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about experiences. Okay. Yes, Diane. Okay, you're going to get it because I was going to save it for the end of the show, and here we are almost at the end of the show, and I haven't given the RV information. So I'm going to do that right now. Give me 1 second. Here it is. Okay. According to the contracts that I was talking about, the contract rates are becoming liquid on the 28th with the humanitarian white hat groups. But this says the Committee of London says trigger group distributions go out today with D1 and D2 to follow. I say yay because I'm in D1. Yay! And then here we go from a different source. From the different source, it says everything happens on the 28th. That's 2 days away. Okay, so get ready to rock and roll. Get ready for the banks to go down. Get ready to stock up your cash, stock up your water, stock up your whatever you need to get by the next 10 days. Get ready for it. I just went to the store and bought eight flats of water. Yes, Lillian.
I got a question. There's so much that's been going on since the elections, and there was so much talk about December 15th and moving forward. Can you kind of give us a recap as to what happened on the 15th and what has happened since because not everybody some people have been on Hamilton Radio 1 for a year or two, and others of us, we just came on in November. So can you do a little recap as to what we expected, what did happen, what didn't happen, and where we are?
Well, what we're expecting is something to go before Christmas, but we don't know which calendar. That we know now that, according to Wyatt, the military is going on a different calendar than we are.
Yes, Julian calendar.
And I know Trump's told us for the last 3 years we were going to have a good Christmas, but I think this is it. I think third time's the charm. And just because it doesn't happen on December 25th, oh well, because we know that Christ's birthday was not on December 25th, and there is no Satan Claus. And if you know what I'm saying here, okay? What you got to remember one thing about this whole process, and if you go back and listen to my different chats in chronological order, you're going to find out that what we got here is a moving target, and sometimes the information that we get is convoluted and given to us for a reason, because we're putting out disinformation to help the white hats do what they got to do. Okay. Now, I'm not going to talk about XRP, okay? Nope, that's not me. I am not on Instagram, and I don't talk. Okay, let me get this through your head. Everybody get this through your head. My final thought for tonight is get yourself trust, get yourself the RV protocol papers, and remember, I am only on Telegram and on Hamilton Radio, okay? Any other Chance McFadden account is bullshit, and I'm going to tell you why. I do not endorse or promote cryptocurrency. If you don't own it, if you don't hold it, you don't own it. That's what my friend Lynette Zhang says. If you don't hold it, you do not own it. It's imagination. It's a figment of your imagination. Yes, you can go in and make money on different cryptos, but then you got to get out of them, okay? All right? I thought he got permission to copyright. What was that? Okay, well, anybody have any questions? We got to get out of here. We're real late, okay? Chance,
I was going to say, I got a comment. Anybody that has crypto is an imaginer in due course.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to be an imaginary millionaire. Yeehaw! Hey, I love you guys. I love you all. Thank you to the entire team tonight. Thank you, ladies, and thank you, Fascinating Brian and Doc G and Wyatt. Always a pleasure, my brother from Australia. And Doc G, okay, you get ready because the stem cell orders are going to be coming in. Okay. All right. We'll talk to you guys all next week. I love you all. God bless. I'm Chance
Happy
McFadden.
New Year.
You know who you are. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.